Hey guys, it's Dave and welcome to the Weird Kid Show. It's awesome having you here today. So today, I'm going to make a Necronomicon. Who doesn't love Evil Dead? I mean, come on. Creepy book, pages full of cantations, demons, possession. Awesome. It's a recipe for an awesome movie. I remember seeing it, if you watched the Packy One Chip Challenge, where I was telling you about my future project, I tell you the story about my first time watching the 1981 Sam Raimi directed Evil Dead, and it scared the pants off of me, and I had to ride my bike home at night along some forests. It was a fast pedal, let me tell you. So anyways, I have a YouTuber, he's crafty, who did a tutorial on making a Necronomicon. So I'm not going to copy him. I am going to do something different than what he did. Okay, so, but regardless, the place that you're going to need to go to get the pages of the Necronomicon is called Elder Props. Okay, you go to Elder Props and then you go and look at downloads. They have pages from a number of films, including like the Black Zodiac from 13 Ghosts, the Evil Dead 1981 version, the Evil Dead 2012 version. This is the 2012 version. I got ahead of myself. I wanted to make the 81. I got to working on this stuff and just kind of realized along the way that, ooh, I'm making the 2012 version. That's okay. I've got the pages printed off for the 1981 version. Okay, so this here is printed off, except for, I don't know what that is. This is all the pages for the 2012 Evil Dead book. Okay, so you're gonna want to go over there, print them off. I think there's around 70 pages. Okay, now keep in mind that's not 70 pages that's going to be in your book, because what you're going to do is you're going to take two of these and you're going to glue them together, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, to make one page. All right, and that's what I have here. Alright, so this is what I just showed you. So we've got this guy here, and then I glued this onto the back. Alright, so you're going to need some Mod Podge. You're going to want to have a glue gun. It's not going to hurt to have a heat gun. I'm going to tell you why. So, go and get you your pages downloaded. Get you a book you don't care about. In this case, it's an old Home Depot book because, let's face it, if you need to do anything, it's all online. I'm going to go ahead and flip that right out of there. We're going to just be using this, okay? You're going to want to print out a copy of the cover of the Necronomicon. Now, this gentleman, he's crafty. What he did was he traced around the pattern. First of all, he glued it to the cover of the book, and then he traced around the entire pattern with hot glue, okay, and then he covered that with paper towel and Mod Podge. Okay, we're not going to do that. We are going to glue this to the book, but instead of tracing it out with hot glue, we're going to use cotton, the blue shop towels, and latex paint, because I plan on adding some sharp teeth and maybe some eyes, at least one eye. Anyways, we're going to make this we're going to make it a little bit different, okay? And it's okay to go different, because if you watch the intro to some of the, like the 1981 version of Evil Dead, you can see the book is like morphing, its mouth's moving and everything else. And there's been like different versions of it, and it was redone again in Creepshow, the new Creepshow series. If you've not seen it yet, check that out. Sam Raimi's brother plays the lead role in that, where they bring the Necronomicon back again. So who knows, we might start seeing some pages from that. Okay, so we're going to touch base. We're going to hit that on its own. Let's talk about the pages. Okay, you've downloaded and printed off all your pages, okay? So what we're going to do now is we need to weather these before we glue them together. And I'll tell you right now, the one we're going to go to right away is coffee, but we're going to go a step further. I think I've told you guys about FW alcohol inks. This stuff is fantastic, and if you look at some of the pages that I've got here, some of the weathering that's been done has been, well, not some of it, all of it has been done using these FW alcohol inks, and it really, it kind of looks like dried blood, some of it. Alright, but I'm going to show you how to do that. Alright, so anyways guys, I appreciate you for being here, and you're going to definitely want to check this out. Okay guys, so I have this glass baking dish, alright, and then I have another cup, yes, snowman coffee cup, with some extra coffee in there, black, and I used a lot of coffee grinds. And then I got my FW alcohol inks, and then for just this video I'm using my heat gun. So basically it's pretty cut and dry. You take your piece of paper and you very gently submerge it. You don't want it to soak too much, because I'll tell you what, it's going to start tearing on you pretty easy. Just get some coffee on that thing. Alright, now I'm going to gently, see it's already ripping, but that's okay, because it's going to add character to it. I just ripped up the whole thing. So that's what we got. So I'm not worried about that. Now it does get a bit tedious when you've got so many, you've got 80 sheets to do. Alright, so I've got some there. Now just that's not enough if you ask me. I mean, when it dries it's going to look, see, I find it better to just do this. Flip it up, touch it, and then flip it back over and get it laid out. Alright, so I can already see over here I missed a spot. This is where the extra cup of coffee comes in, because then you can come back in and thicken it up and pool it in different areas, and you see how it's looking darker in those areas? Well, that's going to stay there once this paper dries. Alright, now you see I've got it on my cooking surface. That's why I'm going to be able to use my heat gun. You're probably not going to be able to use your heat gun on like a wooden table, or maybe you are, I don't know. But this here, it works for me. And I actually literally sat here one Saturday and just did pages, one right after the other. Okay, so now we've got our coffee on there stained. Okay, but I'm going to go a step further. I'm going to take my FW alcohol inks. This is like a, I don't know, it's a rust color. It's like a lighter brown. And then I got it comes with an eyedropper. You can buy this at, I know I bought mine at Michael's. Hobby Lobby might carry it too. And then just go in random spots. You can go heavier in others. Alright, see, now that might not look that great right there, but once we get this brush action going here, you're going to see how much it changes. Alright, so I just go on a few random spots. I'm going to go back in with my coffee brush, and then I can go ahead and just start pulling that. And you see it'll start to spread out. And when it dries, it's going to look like dried blood. So you can go heavier on some pages, because I'm sure with the incantations that they do in the movie, it's some specific pages that that they use more than others. Seems like they don't get very far. They pretty much summon demons, and then they're spending the rest of the movie trying to get rid of the demons. So, okay, so, and if you find you've gone too much, you can come back in with a dry paper towel and just dab at it, okay, to pick up the extra. Alright, so I'm liking the way that looks. That looks pretty good. Alright, I'll pick up the excess. Alright, so these aren't the pages that I'm actually using. This is some extra pages I printed off just to show you how you can do this. Now, you take the heat gun. If you're impatient, one thing you can do, if you get a long table, you could sit there and then give these all the treatment. Now keep in mind, the alcohol inks are going to stain a wood table, so be careful. But if you have a table that's junky, like a work surface, you can sit there and lay all the pages out and then let them dry on their own. It should take probably maybe 4 hours for them to dry, completely dry. But I'm going to use the heat gun just to speed up the process. Alright, so your pages are weathered and they're dry. I know one thing that He's Crafty did was he crumpled up the paper before he did this. I don't think it's necessary, guys. That's just me personally, because you got enough texture and stuff from the, just from the coffee and staining and everything. It's all, it's not straight anymore, and we're going to do some more to it here. Alright, so simple enough, get some Mod Podge, and then I just spread it. Come on. I just spread it all over the paper. Okay. Might want to get a bigger brush. Alright, so you got your Mod Podge on there, and then just simply make sure you're putting it on the same way as the page behind it. Just try to line up a corner. Alright. I'm just going to press it down and smooth it out. Alright. So here I got that tear when it's separated in the coffee, so I might want to like embellish on that and tear it on the other side all the way. We're not going to have clean pages, meaning they're not going to be squared off, okay? This is us just getting the page together. You might have an overlap here where the other paper's sticking out a little bit more. That's okay too. We're not going to have clean edges. Alright, so now that all your pages are glued and dried, we're not done yet, guys, because the edges are too clean. You might have some pages where the page behind is overlapping because you didn't center it all the way. That's fine, because like I said, we're not going to keep these clean edges. Do you remember, I don't know, when we were kids, probably shouldn't have been playing with fire, but one of the things that we used to like to do is we used to like to make these treasure maps. We would draw up these treasure maps, and then we would take fire and then we would burn all the way around the edges of the pages. Now you can do some of that. You can rip some corners, like tear it, like this page here. We'll just do a tear like that, just to give it some character. You can burn the pages. You don't want to, first of all, you don't want to do this inside above a smoke alarm. Probably best to do this outside. Kids, do not do this on your own. Have a parent help you. Alright, so I'm just going to keep going along here and weathering these pages. Alright guys, so yeah, all I did was take a candle and then I just ripped pieces off the edges and tore them up a little bit, and then I took and just started to singe them, just get them going, and then with this cloth I just would wipe and put out the embers. Okay, so all of our pages have been treated now, as you can see. Alright, and it adds a lot of character to it because you'll start getting that black singe a little further in on the pages, and to me it looks good and it works. Okay, so now we're going to go on to binding this thing, and simply enough, all we're going to do, I'm going to use this piece of wood here and then a drill bit. Alright, you want it to be a reasonably sized hole. Now the most important place for these pages to be even is on the spine, so I'm going to go ahead and drop that on there. Make sure that everything is level. Alright, so I'm liking how that looks. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this on this piece of wood, and then using this drill bit, I'm going to come in about, I don't know, about half an inch, I would say, and drill a hole through the paper. Alright, so with my, I got one hole drilled through. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and cut some twine, and then I'm going to pass it through that hole. And I'm doing the middle hole first because, you know, things can tend to wander and drift. It probably wouldn't hurt to try to clamp these pages too, so it doesn't like move or dance on you. I'll go ahead and tie this one off. That way it's at least together here. I see this page here has already come off, but that's okay because we're going to do some hot glue here at the end to really tie this whole thing in together. Alright, so this is all going to work. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of these holes drilled and pass that twine through there. So, alright guys, so I went ahead and drilled 3 holes, cleaned through all of these papers. You got to be careful because that first one's wanting to like torque and twist on you. That's why I said it probably wouldn't hurt to clamp this stuff and expect some tears. But now everything is together here. But we're going to go ahead. I'm going to take our hot glue and go down the whole spine of this thing. Alright, I want to coat the whole spine. Make sure all those pages are all tied together. Alright, that's going to give us some extra strength for when we mount it inside of the binder. Alright guys, and then there you have it. I just completely coated the whole thing with hot glue and with the twine, so now it's secure. It's a book already, okay? But this process alone is lengthy. It takes a long time. You have to go and download the pages, print them off, and then weather them and let them dry, and then start doing you know, the work around the edges. Okay, so it takes a while to do this. Okay, but that's our pages. Okay, and it's pretty straightforward, and I know you can do it as long as you have the means to print those pages off and you get your hands on some of these basic materials. You can do this too. Now, I've seen tutorials on this done pretty much the same way. The kicker for this build is going to be the cover, okay? And I told you guys what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount this onto this cover, and instead of using Mod Podge and hot glue, I'm going to use cotton latex. Okay, so we're going to get into cotton and latex. We're going to get into polymer clays because I'm going to put teeth in this thing. And I want to show you about glass cabochons and how we can make eyelids and stuff with paper towel and latex and everything. So this is going to be a unique, one-of-a-kind Book of the Dead, Necronomicon, okay? And for that, you're going to have to come back next week, alright? That's the icing on the cake. So if you enjoyed this, maybe you can get to printing this week and get to work and have this done in time to come back next week where we get into the good stuff, the Book of the Dead. So we'll put this baby to bed next week. We'll have this thing done. We'll talk about painting, not just painting, but painting latex. And then we'll get into finalizing, and then the last thing we're gonna do, the payoff is gonna be when we mount this inside of the book to complete our Necronomicon. Okay, guys? So that's all I have time for this week. So please, I hope you do join me next week. Okay? If you haven't done so, go check out my brothers, Keith from Cobwebs and Candlesticks and Vic Springston from Monster Misfits. Together we make up the trio of terror. And please, guys, like and subscribe. Hit that bell. It's going to notify you when I upload future videos, you know, and your subscription really means a lot to me, you know. And there's so much more to come, guys. So, anyways, guys, I appreciate you. And until next time, take care.